buddy.
Yeah, baby. Hey, we're on.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Steelhead, I'm hoping he stays out of that tree right there.
Look at him
Oh,
boil it
boy.
up.
Oh, whoa,
That's
there
a
he
nice
is.
fish, Rob.
Oh, boy. Now, this gets to be a trick with that big, thick Skagit line when they're across like that. Try and keep that line up.
Rob Crandall is your host in this detailed look at the whys and the ways of spey fishing steelhead in cold water. The ramrod of watertime outfitters, he's pushing 25 years of professional guiding on the Northwest's famed steelhead rivers. Spey fishing steelhead is the heart of his business, and next to his family, his primary passion.
That's right. Wild steelhead.
His goal in this angling instructional is to help you understand that cold water steelheading demands different tactics and to demonstrate what gear and techniques are needed to be successful.
She's a healthy fish. Well, steelhead on the swing, that winter fish, that's what we've been looking for. Cold water is one of the key differentiators that make this time of year a challenging time of year to catch steelhead on the swung fly. That's why the approach that we use is vitally important to success. See, swinging flies in cold water is not as easy as it is in the summer and fall.
The biggest difference between winter fish and summer fish is that, you know, fish just aren't quite as aggressive in this colder climate of 40-degree water temps. And so the biggest difference is we've got to just kind of meet these guys halfway with the fly.
Winter steelhead do not eat skaters. I don't care what the water temperature is. Although I'm uncomfortable saying that conclusively, because I know that it does happen.
Oh, sure.
Todd Hirano, the fellow who I'm sure you'll see today, that tied that skater, he got a winter steelhead in this pool in April a couple of years ago, and the water temperature was like 54 degrees, and winter fish come up and ate it. But you can fish 54-degree water with a skater till the cows come home over winter steelhead, and you might get one to come up and eat that skater.
Okay, make my amends, step down. There's a common statistic among anglers that 90% of the steelhead that take the swung fly are in the last 1/3 of the swing. Well, why is that? In my mind, that could be for several reasons. One, steelhead sees the fly all the way across the river and he tracks it and he follows it, and then he decides he's going to hit it down here in the last third of the swing. But another and especially important concept for cold water time of year is, when is your fly the deepest? The fly is the deepest towards the end of the swing. So those two things are in alignment. 90% of our takes also coincide with when our fly is the deepest on the swung fly presentation. That is a really important thing to me. So in my mind, I want to think about getting the fly deeper earlier in the swing and upping my percentages of success. Now, by adjusting my approach, throwing my line more upstream in this situation, and by careful mending, I'm stepping down as it sinks, get my 3 steps in, again, careful mending at the quartering down position. Those are ways that we can get the fly deeper earlier in the swing and expand that range of effectiveness.
Rob is joined on occasion in this look at spey fishing cold water steelhead by a pair of experts, Dean Finnerty and Marty Shepard. They give us additional tips and demonstrations, plus provide us the chance to see some action on their favorite rivers. Dean still guides on his home waters of southwestern Oregon, but now spends most of his time working for Trout Unlimited on their Sportsman's Conservation Project. he shares with Rob some of the hard-won knowledge decades of angling have taught him about deepwater spey fishing.
So Dean, in addition to the water being warmer during summer time frame, those steelhead have been in the river for a long period of time. Are they more prone to eat insects?
Yeah, I believe they are. I make a habit of doing kind of an autopsy on fish that we keep. If we get a hatchery fish that we're going to take for the barbecue, for example, I've made a habit over the years of checking stomach contents.
Right.
I've had fish that we've caught over on the Deschutes with as many as 28 caddis larvae in their stomach. In the wintertime, the same thing. If I happen to come across a hatchery fish that we're going to keep for the barbecue, I do the same thing. I check stomach contents. And it's pretty unusual, to find any kind of organism that's identifiable in the stomach contents of a winter steelhead.
Marty, like Rob, is a full-time guide and spey addict who works northwest steelhead rivers out of his home base near Portland, Oregon. He joins our probe of cold water spey steelheading with his unique insights countless days on the water have taught him.
If I was to give you one key to the success of catching winter steelhead on a swung fly, it'd be hard for me to give you just the one magic bullet that is going to make you more successful, except for the fact that skill matters. And so your casting matters. Your presentation matters. The things that really are incorporated into what I see people have success is skill. And so my advice to anybody is to practice. Go fishing.
It's the small details that add up to success. It's how do I swing my fly? Where do I hold my rod? How sharp is my hook? How deep is my fly? How do I set the hook? Do I set the hook? How tight is my drag? How consistently do I move down through the run? Am I getting hung up on the bottom? How far am I casting? All of those are little details that add up to success with the swung fly. A lot of your success with the swung fly comes from doing the right thing consistently over and over again. It's a game of percentages. How much water am I covering effectively? Throughout the course of the day, how many times am I snagging up a bad cast? Am I near the bottom or am I on the surface? Am I fishing to fish? Those little details to success add up over time and make you a consistent, effective angler.
What is not different about cold water spey fishing steelhead from warm water fishing is the goal, catching steelhead on the swung fly. Rob sells t-shirts and hats with the slogan, "The tug is the drug," and we're hoping the lessons provided here will get you a few more of those tugs when the water is cold.
As they migrate up the river. Oh, there's a grab, and we're off. There's a steelhead, my friends, yes. Oh, and it's taking line. Keeping the line tight as best you can. Whoa, do you see that? He has just done that classic V formation, heading upriver. What a powerful fish. He just climbed right on there. That line came tight. Whew, my heart's pounding. This is a hot steelhead.